So let's talk about AI in data analysis. If you've ever felt like you're just drowning in spreadsheets, staring at endless rows of numbers, well, you're not alone. We're going to look at how AI is stepping in to turn all of that chaos into real, actionable clarity. And look, this isn't some far-off future stuff. We're talking right now. A staggering 80% of all those routine, repetitive data tasks are already being automated by AI. Just let that sink in. All that tedious data cleaning, the hours you sink into basic modeling, a massive chunk of that can now be done in minutes, not days. This isn't just a little faster, it's a total game changer. Okay, so that's the big question, isn't it? It's one thing to hear that AI can do all these amazing things, but how do you actually make it work for you? How do we get from the idea of it to putting it into practice? Well, that's exactly what we're going to break down step by step. First things first, we need to kind of shift our thinking. The point here isn't to replace the analyst, it's to give them superpowers. Seriously, think of AI as your new data partner. It's the one that handles all the grunt work, freeing you up to focus on the big picture, the strategy. You go from being a data laborer to a data strategist. This really lays out the before and after picture, doesn't it? On one side, you've got the traditional way. It's slow, it's manual, and honestly, it's often limited to just finding answers to questions you already thought to ask. But then you look at the AI-assisted side. It's not just way faster, it's smarter. It's built to go find the hidden patterns, the surprising connections, the things you would have never even known to look for. The best way to think about it is like having the most skilled assistant you could ever imagine. One that can sift through absolute mountains of data without ever needing a coffee break. One that learns on its own, and then, this is the key part, it brings you insights, not just a pile of numbers. Your job becomes the director. You guide the analysis, and you're the one who interprets the story the data's telling. So if AI is our new partner, what's in the toolkit we share? Let's pop the hood and look at the key techniques and, the actual tools that are defining data analysis today. So this breaks it down really nicely. You're not just doing AI, right? You're using specific tools for specific jobs. You need to forecast sales for next quarter? Okay, that's predictive modeling, and you might fire up a tool like Scikit-Learn. Or maybe you just want to ask your data a simple question in plain English, like, hey, what were our top 5 products last month? That's conversational analytics, and you'd use something like pandasAI for that. It's all about the right tool for the job. And speaking of tools, here are some of the heavy hitters right now. You've got things like pandasAI that literally let you have a conversation with your data. Then there are coding assistants like GitHub Copilot that are like having a programming expert sitting right next to you, helping you write scripts way faster. And yep, even good old Excel is in the game now with its own Copilot. For the real power users building things from scratch, you have frameworks like PyTorch. Okay, so we've covered the what and the why. Now it's time for the fun part, the how. We're going to walk through a simple, step-by-step workflow that shows you exactly how to use AI to go from a messy, chaotic dataset to a crystal-clear insight you can actually use. Here it is, the 5-step roadmap. And notice how it starts? With a human. You define the problem you're trying to solve. Then AI jumps in to help with the heavy lifting of data prep, building models, and making predictions. It even whips up visualizations to make it all easy to digest. But look where it ends, right back with a human to make the final call. It's a perfect partnership. Let's just zoom in on step 2 for a second, data prep. This used to be the biggest time suck for any analyst. But here, with just a couple lines of code, an AI model is automatically scanning the data, finding and isolating any weird outliers. Like a sales figure that's just way, way off. This isn't just about being fast, it's about being accurate. And yeah, it can save you up to 90% of your prep time. Insane. So once our data is squeaky clean, we hit step 3, building a predictive model. This little code snippet here is actually a simple neural network. See that loop in the code? That's kind of where the magic happens. The model is just running through the data again and again, learning all the little relationships between variables so it can start predicting what's going to happen next. This is the heart and soul of forecasting. And of course, a bunch of predictions are pretty useless if they're just numbers on a screen. So in step 4, the AI takes that complex output from the model and automatically turns it into something you can understand at a glance, like this sales chart. It transforms the raw numbers into a story. And that makes it ready for the most important step of all, the decision. All right, so we've seen the workflow. We see how powerful it is. But that brings us to the most important question of all. Where do you fit into this new world? It really comes down to this idea of combining human wisdom with AI horsepower. And here it is, the elephant in the room, the question on everyone's mind. If the AI can do all of this heavy lifting, what's left for us to do? Are we basically automating ourselves out of a job? The answer, thankfully, is a clear and resounding no. And this quote just nails it. AI does the heavy lifting, you provide the wisdom. The machine is incredible at processing and modeling at a scale we can't even imagine. But you provide the context, the critical thinking, the business savvy, the strategic insight, and that is something that just can't be automated. Now, this new partnership comes with some new rules of the road. You have to be the one to double-check the AI's work, because believe me, it can get things wrong. For the really big, critical decisions, a human absolutely has to be in the loop. It's all about remembering to use AI as your partner, not a replacement, and keeping your process documented so it's transparent and trustworthy.
So, at the end of the day, the question isn't if AI is going to change the world of data analysis. It already is. The real question is for you. How are you going to put this incredible new partner to work? What truths are just sitting there, waiting to be found in your data? What are you going to uncover first?